Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to another Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast, a very special Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast, because just recently in the past week, we actually hit fucking triple digits. We hit and surpassed 100 subscribers by a few, and racking our brains trying to figure out something to do as a special thank you to you guys. We figured go ahead and slap it onto a podcast, because one of the oldest things we've been doing on this fucking channel are these podcasts. So I'm Chris Fearing for Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes, and I'm joined around the table by
Drunks and Dragons,
Ballistic Robot.
So first off, as I said, thank you guys for the 100 subscribers. Fucking 2 years we've been doing this.
Something like that.
I can hardly even believe it's been 2 years.
Yeah, ever since
wacky.
I was in the back corner of the off room in Burlington, got myself that first $50 mic that put static if you recorded for too long. You guys remember that shit? Where we had bursts of static in the Dark Souls playthroughs?
Wow,
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was another... Man,
That was the first mic we had, man.
Wow.
And
yeah.
I recorded, I think the first thing I did was Squidward Suicide, because that was the first creepypasta I had ever heard. And I recorded that, and the thing that stalks the fields, and I started recording different stuff. And then I was like, guys, why don't we fucking just do podcast stuff? And so I would come down from Burlington, we'd hang out at Justin's house and sit around that table and record like 3 to 4 podcasts in a night.
Yep, that was fun. And
Hell
you
yeah,
get
dude.
milkshakes in between all that.
And give milkshakes in between, and you would always hear it.
Yeah.
Because you could hear us like, well, when this happened next, right? And making a fucking couple of milkshakes in between everything.
Oh man, it's like we started from the bottom and now we're here.
Kind of doing the same thing.
Yeah, I was
Still
gonna say,
do-
notice it didn't say better in any of that part.
Just now we're here, wherever this is. It's kind of better.
Is that the bottom still? I don't know. Maybe.
That's 105 subscribers up from the bottom.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
And that may fluctuate, because we've had people before where we've fluctuated between like a number and like 3 below that number on and off for a few weeks, where people would be like, I hit subscribe by accident. That's how I assume these people talk. Subscribe by accident, or I subscribed, but that was the only video I liked, so I'm going to unsubscribe. But the good news is...
So are they just all Pat Hingle? That guy from...
What the fuck is Pat Hingle?
Sorry, it's Commissioner Gordon from Batman.
And so he's just food falling out of his mouth as he talks.
That's what it sounded like.
Well, you know, just like scattering M&Ms and meatballs all over the fucking place.
Every time I try that voice, it sounds just like fucking Assy McGee. It's like, what the fuck?
It's just a glandular problem.
It's my physical appearance. But the thing is, we gotta remember, guys, only 900,900 more subscribers to go, and YouTube will send us a plaque.
All right.
All right. Hooray!
Yay!
Almost there.
Because they send plaques for 100,000 subscribers. They send a silver plaque. They send a gold plaque. That's the actual YouTube play button with like a plaque that has the name of our channel and the date we actually hit those subscribers.
Wow.
For 1 million, they send a gold plaque. And these are not actually silver and gold. They're just made to look like them, like records.
Yeah.
And I think for either 5 or 10 million, they send one that looks like it's made out of diamond.
Nice.
But like only a few people have actually gotten that fucking one. So
I imagine.
only 900,900 more to go, guys.
Just keep on. Just tell your
Holy
friends.
shit.
Tell your family. Make them subscribe to us.
One
Put a gun to their
subscriber
head.
down. Next subscriber. Next.
Like,
Next.
comment, and subscribe, guys. Okay, thanks for joining us for the podcast.
Yeah,
That's-
thanks for giving it. Just fucking close the notebook here.
We just stopped putting out Play Prisons. We stopped putting out SCPs. We stopped putting out podcasts. We just put up a video that's just a big fucking JPEG of a middle finger. That's all it is. It's 10 hours long.
Don't worry, folks. We'll try and work on getting that for you anyway, so you can send that to friends and family and other fucking coworkers.
Exactly. We'll get on that shit ASAP. But in the happenings around here, we just recently had a hurricane edge the fucking edge the fucking state. So
Just guess where we are. Just guess.
we came, but we're in one of the Carolinas. It's not the lower one, but we came back from Virginia on Sunday, and I had to immediately turn around and leave to the next spot.
Technically, we were in Maryland. Not Sunday, but...
Oh, no, yeah. Maryland, Northern Virginia, all of it.
Yeah,
we were
general
coming
DC
down from
area.
the north.
Yeah.
Well, I left you, after we got back, I left, swapped out my shit, went in the work truck, and hit the road. I was going to be in Farmville, North Carolina, all this week, staying in Greenville. So I drive up, and I'm driving up the big main 4-lane highway, and I get off the exit to take the other huge 4-lane road that cuts straight across into Greenville. So I'm riding down there, and I see police tape across all 4 lanes of that fucking road. So I'm just like, I got you, fucker. And I take a side road, and I go down there thinking I'm going to, like, bypass it and go a little bit further and then cut back over. There was another road that was police taped off. So I took another side road and went. 5 side roads later,
Holy shit.
I could not get in that way.
Whoa.
It got to the point where some of them were taped off, and I could see water levels were halfway up electrical poles further on. So I was like, okay. So I called work, told them what was going on. They said, try whichever way to get in there. This is a multi-day job. So I was like, okay, you got it, man. So I went back to the main highway, and I called Drew, because Drew lives in Greenville. And, of course, Drew didn't want to get off his fat ass and, like, find a way out in his Jeep and meet me and then me follow him in the way he took. But he was like, man, just go back towards home and then cut in and go the back way. So I went back and did that. 4 blocked off flooded roads later,
Jeez.
I'm back on the main highway, and I head past the Greenville exit, go into Wilson, because I think, okay, if I can get to the job site in Farmville and find a way that way into Greenville, I'll be doing all right.
Yeah, maybe from another end of town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I go up to take the Wilson exit. 2 minutes off of the Wilson exit, I get to a space of road that I've taken that road many times for estate sales and auctions, that was fields on either side. Complete fields on either side. So I'm taking down that road. 2 minutes down that road, I cannot go any further. It looks like a road crossing a lake. The water was so high, you could not see sprigs of plants or crops above the water. Driveways went down into nothing.
Jeez.
So I thought, well, okay. So I come back, drive back to Greenville, go back to the initial police taped off spot, talk to a cop. And the cop is like, yeah, the environmental guys we have in Greenville say that the Tar River is going to continue to rise until Wednesday afternoon.
What the fuck?
And it will not be completely receded to the point where we can open these roads again until sometime the next week.
Holy crap.
So I called work, told her what was going on, and she said, come back. Drove all the way back. I left at 2:30 on a 2-hour drive. I got back at 8:30 that night. From all the fucking driving around the flooded roads.
Yeah, no, it
Jeez
sounds like it
Louise.
was 8 hours worth of driving.
So-
6 hours worth of driving.
Yesterday, she called me and said she wanted me to go back up there and give it another go. So I said, look, the cops told me, the Greenville cops told me it was not going to go down. No way into Greenville. I'm not going to be able to do this. And she said that the place, she had called the place and said that we were having problems getting the truck there. And the place said, well, we're still open. They fucking called her like an hour later and said, oh, we're only working with like a quarter of our staff, so we're going to just cancel to be rescheduled later. So it was the funniest thing, and I actually got a call from Drew this afternoon just seeing what was going on because I had called him trying to find a way into Greenville, and he'd never heard back from me.
Yeah.
It turns out, as of right now, Greenville is in lockdown. No one can leave the city. Lumberton, which is only maybe an hour or so from Greenville, don't quote me on that, has a mandatory citywide evacuation
Holy
because
crap.
it's just under fucking water. I saw pictures today which like just regular single-story houses, water up midway to the windows on those fucking houses. It, like, quite literally, all you can see is a roof and some trees.
That's nuts.
All I can imagine is Drew on his roof with water halfway up and just doing the Carlton. It's not unusual. And he's just fucking dancing while the rescue helicopters are showing up.
So long
Or just
story.
being like, yo, man, it's easy, man. Like, while he's just being flooded.
Water just slowly. No, man, you're good.
He just looks over, sees water like crash into the window and pour in, and he's just like, damn.
He's fully clothed on the phone. The water goes over his head. He surfaces in trunks with his fucking boogie board.
I was going to say, he's still reclining as he's watching water pour in his window. Just in front of his television or whatever he's got, just looking and he goes, damn. Damn. Or he just goes, like the nod, the little nod and head turn, and then like calls you up. It's like, dude, the water's like really high. Like it doesn't really express the fact his house is being flooded, or that he's about to be floating legit on like his fucking sofa.
So that was my Sunday.
I'm not really surprised though, because I still remember way back when my grandparents were still alive, and they lived just south of Greenville. And there was a time we were leaving from visiting them. It was at night, and it started flash flooding from rain. And I think that my mom talked to somebody right before we got out of there, where they were just like, yeah, Greenville is just built over like the Tar River, and it's like the river. We were right before this big bridge that had the river underneath, and the river was like maybe 20, 40 feet usually below it, but then it was rising like almost to the bridge. And I remember just thinking how badly that place would flood if it did get hit.
Apparently, dude.
So man, I'm not surprised, really.
Greenville. Welcome to Greenville. We hope you like drowning.
And it's funny because Drew told me that like he's been going to work. He's had regular days of work because within the confines of Greenville, it's the funniest thing. The city's in lockdown, but I walk outside, the sun's shining, I go to work, I see my patients, I go get dinner, I go back to my apartment.
Holy shit.
So like you're telling me like their city somehow...
Off.
Yeah,
they're isolated, but the city itself is like not as bad.
It's
so
like
it's
River Run
like,
or some shit.
It struck me though.
It's like Waterworld.
That's a good opening for a movie.
Yeah,
Like people purposefully flood a town that will flood to the point where they need to be in lockdown, and then they fucking release shit on the people there to quarantine and see how it affects them.
Yeah.
But speaking of really strange movies and natural disasters.
Whatever could you be talking about, Chris?
The Gunslinger trailer leaked.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Earlier this week.
I've actually seen that though. We all watched
We've all watched it one time.
Yeah.
Separately.
Yeah.
So, Aaron Bass.
First and foremost expert.
First and foremost.
What do I think?
What do you think?
I think it's going to be different as hell from the books, but that's almost not a problem for me because I knew going into it from everything I've read previously that it was going to be different, that they kind of were going to reinterpret it to kind of take the spirit of the first and couple of books, not even just the first, and put it into a movie. And that's what it looks like what they did. But yeah, there's some things that make me go like, that looks amazing. I can't wait to see this. And there's a few things that made me go, what? But for the most part, even those things could turn out to be good. Like the stuff where Jake goes through to Midworld through a portal instead of dying. That makes me go, what? But maybe that's cool. Like I know I can understand that technology is in the books. I want to say there's...
Okay, because I was going to ask you about that, because it was like, oh, he's going to the house. Oh, he's in the house. Oh, he's found some weird fucking technological portal shit. Yeah. What is going on in this place?
Now, yeah, I was like, huh. It made me go, huh.
So was shit like that in the books? Because I haven't read them a long-ass time.
I want to say there is directly a portal style that just like that in the 7th one, where they're like, yeah, we need to get back to, like... New York, and they're like, we're in some place in Midworld, and it has portals to different areas in our world. I can't remember for sure. It's been a long time for me too, since high school at least. And then there's also, I want to say, just I think that technology is in the Dogons. These things, these outposts of technology that the old civilization had around Midworld and Inworld and stuff like that. So yeah, portals exist to from Midworld to our world.
Okay. But it was just weird seeing him find that in that derelict house.
Yeah. Another thing that made me go, what, was the thing about the Man in Black saying, do you know that, or does he know that anybody who travels with you has died by my hand?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that could, like, it sounds cool, but I'm still like, what do you mean? What the hell is the story behind that?
Yeah.
Is it some kind of like thing where they're just expanding on the idea that
they're like put into account that maybe like
Walter
he causes this shit?
Yeah, Walter is caused the death of his father, his
I think
mother, all these
what the feeling that I distinctly got from the trailer is that Matthew McConaughey's character, the Man in Black, I think what they might be doing with him is they might be making him like just generally the series antagonist for the now. So for at least this movie, it's like I can do all this spoopy shit because he's like the main villain and he'll have near like Crimson King level like kind of almost powers.
Well, yeah,
but
that's flag for you.
Yeah.
But like,
which is
I guess it's just to solidify him as the antagonist even more so than he
Yeah.
already is. Even though he's pretty bad in like. He's already pretty bad.
They're making it. I think they are kind of
even
making that more distinct, like you're saying.
Yeah, like because the general audience is going to be like, if you have a general audience, like look at the Dark Tower, and like Roland's going to kill this dude because he like fucking did some swervy shit in the past. Okay, cool. And then it's like he doesn't really interact with them much, and then tells him some shit and leaves.
You
it's
slowly
like
start to see where
you
it's all
slowly
connected
it starts becoming like a travel of Roland. Less than like Roland trying to stop a bad guy until like way later on when they find out about like Breakers and the Crimson King's plan and other stuff.
Yeah.
So like until then there's like this weird dead space where it's just like Roland, get to the tower, and things happen in between. But this in the movie, the feel that I distinctly get, it's like they want to solidify the Man in Black as a definite villain. So the movie doesn't just go, wait, who is he trying to stop again?
Right.
They can go, that guy. Matthew McConaughey, Man in Black. He's our bad guy. We don't like him. He's probably cool to like because he does cool shit. And he's like, oh, he's cool. But like, gotta stop him, Roland, because he'll murder everyone if you don't.
Yeah.
So, I think that throws a lot of shit out the window, though.
It's gonna destroy the.
I'm real number one. I'm kind of worried because it was a leaked trailer with green screen still showing, not finished, and it's a February next year release date.
Yeah. What?
Another thing that really kind of just irritated the shit out of me.
What's that?
I'm going to talk about what irritated the shit out of me, and then I'm going to talk about the stuff that I really like. Because there was some shit in there, and I was like, dude.
Yeah.
But the fact that it feels like it's Jake going like, oh, I dreamed of this gunslinger guy. He can help us. I'm going to find a way to get in his world. You're him. You need to come back. Your world may be dead, but you can still save my world.
You're right.
Come to modern day New York and fight this obvious antagonist that we're not really going to hide in any fucking nuance.
Yeah.
It's the Man in Black. Look, he's the bad guy. This guy's the hero. I don't want to be a hero. Too bad, Roland. You're going to have to come save modern day New York because that's every fucking movie nowadays with heroes and villains in it.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
So that part
of
pissed me off because I'm just like, man, this movie's gonna be like 90% New York. The very beginning is gonna be like the Man in Black fled across the desert and the gunslinger followed.
Here's nonsense.
Desert hard pan. The gunslinger's boot hitting. He walks a few steps. Jake wakes up, and that's all it is. Because he's dreaming of fucking
why
Roland.
Did you just spoil the first 5 minutes of this movie?
That's what I'm expecting, dude.
That sounds like a pretty accurate
it seems
prediction.
like it's going to be rife with that kind of like, let's make it into a movie everyone can understand bullshit.
Yeah.
Now, beyond that, when Jake first goes there and sees Roland, and Roland is like, and Jake's like, you're him. And Roland first says, I don't even know what the line was, but as soon as he says shit, I'm just like, that's a Roland voice. That fucking got me. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
No,
And then when they're in the fucking woods, and whatever's attacking them, and he aims up with his dual guns and starts like, bah, 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 and I was just like, man, fucking single action revolvers don't fire that fast. But in my mind, I was like, Chris, you said it yourself. It's a reloading trick. He's trained with these since birth. He could fire them that fast. And I was like, you're right.
Yep.
And then, like, Matthew McConaughey walking and not speaking looks awesome.
Yeah.
But then when he says his lines, I'm just like, you're not even going to try.
Yeah.
You're not even going to try, like, you know so much shit, but you're amused as hell because you know what's going to happen to everyone around you, but they're too stupid to know it.
Yeah, I'm hoping they have more scenes that directly show that, but the way he's doing it doesn't seem to quite show that in the trailer.
Not in the trailer. From this leaked
horrible song in the trailer's leaked version.
I will say though,
like,
I like the song. The version of it is okay, and then I was, as soon as I heard it playing, I was like, that song kind of works for Roland.
I understand why they put it there,
but then it was just like, but Roland
I didn't
in
care
the
for
book
the
has
version.
blue eyes.
Yeah.
The version sounds kind of weird, but I was like, they're going with a different version.
Yeah.
Trailers loved using like the kind of
it's like what they did for
the remixed or you know version of a song that's popular from a band.
X-Men Apocalypse,
like
X-Men
Apocalypse,
that slow style.
Yeah.
So
they have
3-minute song
they have that cover
song.
of "Dust in the Wind" for World of Warcraft. So there's just covers galore everywhere.
And then that fucking shot of modern day New York, Roland leaping off of a fucking balcony, going coo coo coo, like firing fucking horizontal in the air.
Watch this shit again. I can't remember that.
Oh,
we can't. I went and checked on it to watch it again just on a whim a few hours ago, and it was like the studio asked us to pull that down, so we did. So they just have like 9 stills. And the last 2 still, like a couple of the stills are like really dope.
I hope that's it.
I'm sure we can find it somewhere, because a lot of people that find these things that are leaked will save them and re-upload them all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we could find it to watch it again at some point this evening, because I wouldn't mind watching it with you guys.
Yeah.
But so what was some stuff in there that you really liked, Aaron?
Well, for one, the Gunslinger's Oath at the end.
Yes.
Yes. Everybody can say that shit because that was incredible.
Yes.
And I'm glad they ended the trailer with that shit.
They knew what they were doing there, and they got that right.
Fuck yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
That's all. That matters so damn much. It's not even funny.
Like even if the plot was fucked up, even if they just got the characters right, it'd be like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
And it would feel like a goddamn relief.
Right. And I think that they definitely have some interest. Like I think they've got a good casting for Roland and a solid casting for the Man in Black.
Yep.
The Jake, I can't tell whether he's going to be good or not. I always thought of Jake as younger in my mind.
Me too. I'm like,
same.
this kid seems kind of old, but okay, I guess.
But
like
at the same
actors.
time, if they're going to have 7 movies, it'll look less weird if he starts out much older. Versus like he'll grow. He won't grow as much.
I mean, like, they made it work with Harry Potter, but, like, that's a damn commitment for sure and a half. And I don't even know, like, they're basing this off of a book, so that's a safe bet. But on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, but you're basing it off just, like, Stephen King's, like, epic fantasy novel. Will this work? I have no idea.
The other thing,
for all we know, this movie could come out, we could all love it, and then they never make another one.
I wasn't that's probably what's going to happen. But I wasn't sure if they really have a good idea of what Midworld's like. Because what I saw was like pretty much post-apocalypse with nothing, not a damn thing, and like it didn't look like a desert, more so like the surface of Mars.
Yeah,
and like if to me, I know that Roland's world is that level of fucked up where you could find a place like that,
but it doesn't feel like that.
Yeah, and I think that there's a reason why Roland's world is the way it is, and that's something that's not really overtly discussed in the books until like maybe the very, very end, which is that it is kind of a collapsed literary world. It is it's actually based on all these different old books and old stories that we no longer care about or have reference points to, that have now just kind of been poured into this one bowl called Midworld.
Yeah,
that's why we have the City of Lud. That's why a child rolling through the Dark Tower is is what influenced Roland's story. All these things came from different literary sources and are now this one literate world. And I think that's I want to see that in Midworld to a degree.
I know for me, like, it always felt like when the world has moved on, that kind of thing, that almost felt personal for Roland. Mm-hmm. Like the world he knew. The kings, the queens, the courts, the kingdoms, the lords that owned lands, that would wage war over lands, and then, like, when the wars were done, they would still be in their kingdoms, mulling about with their people. That's all fucking gone.
Yeah.
What he's talking about is the world he knew has moved on, and what's left is all these people picking up pieces in this world and making it new and different in their own, and that's what leads to Lud and the super future shit, but then like Old West style over here, and then like fucking bird head people over here, and fucking like vampire illusions over here, and all this kind of like weird conglomerate shit.
Yeah, it's all put together from different styles.
It's like the fucking world in Samurai Jack.
Yeah, it is.
It's the world as we knew it completely wiped out, and all these weird different characters are coming and building shit up as they want it to be, and it just makes everything look like a fucking crazily stitched pattern but the world works in and of itself, but it is not the world that Roland knew.
Yeah.
No.
And he's got to fucking deal with that shit.
Yeah.
By, like, firing his guns fast as fucking Uzis.
Man, I didn't even think about it, but how much Samurai Jack is like Roland. It's not like...
Oh, yeah.
That really works as a good comparison. Damn. Huh.
It's like that. It's cool because it's the exact kind of opposite character fucking... What's the word? Archetype? Not archetype, but stereotype-wise. One's like the wandering cowboy, and the other one's the wandering samurai.
Yeah. Well,
One's looking for his world, one's looking for his they're both pretty much the same.
They're both looking
Yeah.
for home in the past.
Yeah, but the
and
fact
they
that
can't
it's
find
cowboy
it.
and samurai.
Yeah. I got you. East and West.
Yeah, exactly.
Super dope. All I can think of though is like Dark Souls, and you're like, yeah, this is it's like, yeah, it's just like all that shit's done. You just walk around this. I mean, there's all these zombies, of course, because Dark Souls. But if you took out all the zombies, what do you have?
Oh,
a
just
bunch of old castles,
old world from
a
the
decayed
past.
old world that no one
Yeah.
like knows anything about or cares anything about, and you're just like, cool. I guess I can just live here, I guess, and just do whatever I want, and nothing means anything anymore.
I will say, I don't think there's going to be another one.
I just don't see it getting enough attention.
Traction, yeah.
But I hear that they are planning a TV show.
Oh, really?
To be fair, miracles can happen. I mean, we're supposed to be getting a new Chronicles of Narnia movie, and that was supposed to never happen, I guess. Maybe. Who knows?
I think it would work as a TV show.
It's supposed to be pretty much exactly what would be a good idea for a version of the TV show where it's all the young Roland stuff. The stuff.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
So
At least maybe we'll see some, like, legit cool Roland type shit.
So, like,
Yeah.
what? Like, when you say young Roland, you mean like the story time in like Wizard and Glass?
pretty much the stuff you see covered in the comics.
Holy fuck, dude!
Sweet, that's all the big
That's
shit.
That's all that stuff, though. That's awesome. I love that stuff.
I mean, yeah, they didn't directly say that, but I'm assuming it's pretty much Wizard and Glass material on.
Yeah, because whenever anybody says it's, like, based around young Roland, that's the kind of shit.
Heck, they could even do they could easily do the Wind Through the Keyhole stuff. Because
I still
I think
agree
that took... wait, I can't remember which one took place first. I want to say the Wind Through the Keyhole kind of did.
Who's he traveling with in that?
Cuthbert... No. Elaine and Jamie the Curry.
Why isn't Cuthbert there?
I don't remember that part.
Well, it feels like the shit that he talks about in Wizard and Glass with the Thinny and the John Farson shit and all that kind of stuff. If that was... I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah,
You remember right?
Yeah.
That almost feels like the end of the young Roland adventures. Because don't like some of his companions fucking off it
No, not
during
now.
that tale? Okay, it's
Not
a little
now.
bit...
No, I
but
remember.
it feels like it's close enough to the end.
What is it? Cuthbert dying on that cliffside. There wasn't really a cliffside.
Oh,
the
in
art,
the Battle of Jericho Hill?
The art for Battle of Jericho Hill just makes it look like that man in all denim is cradling that other man in all denim. While he
Oh,
goes to
yeah.
Farmer Brown and the Sheer Rock Wall.
Yeah.
That's what we called it back
Farmer Brown and the Sheer Rock Wall.
If you're wondering what we're talking about, find the illustrated version of Wolves of the Kala.
Yeah.
And like one of the like regular original versions of that are all over the place because hardly anybody bought them. Flip through that shit and amuse yourself.
Some of the art's good. Some of the art, I don't know if it quite captures the scene.
Wait.
It's there.
He's an all denim, right?
Yeah.
He's Alabama Man.
Farmer Brown and Alabama Man have a gunfight together against impossible odds on a sheer cliff wall.
But that's, I mean,
Whenever somebody wears all denim, I now think of this joke from this one TV show I was watching where the guy's like, "Yep, I was wearing the Canadian tuxedo. It's all denim." But yeah,
oh, we gotta use that shit, man. That's awesome.
A Canadian tuxedo. That's good.
Toast the bride and groom with maple syrup. But no, that's a great idea for a TV series based off of that. Is all just like the young Roland adventures.
yeah.
Because that means like big coffin hunter shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That means the stuff with what was that witch called?
Rhea.
Rhea the Coos.
Yeah, Coos. Now I remember the Ray of the Coos because fucking of the Coos. How are you gonna forget that shit?
And if they're doing the comics, they'll probably just also end up doing the Little Sisters storyline because they did that as its own volume in the Marvel comics.
They could still do that when Roland is younger, because I'm pretty sure they're going to use a younger actor. For
Of course.
Oh man, what would be the best is if like they did the TV show and the TV show did really well, so they were like, maybe we should just do the gunslinger right.
Yeah.
And they end up at least like it looks like they're in the movie. It's going to be like, oh yeah, all that shit already happened.
Yeah.
All that shit's done. It's gone. All that tall stuff is back that way.
Yeah, I know that might happen, or maybe that's what's going to lead to Tull with Jake in hand. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, it would be.
It's like we're doing this again. All right.
That kind of takes away from Tull to me.
If Jake was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Tull is like perfect for just Roland.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's the iconic Western scenario, but it also like makes it feel extremely fucking vulnerable.
Yeah.
When he's in there, because I mean, even when he's that dude. He's the dude that like fucking puts an uneven gold piece on the counter to pay for his burgers, and all the eyes in Sheb's fucking look at it, and Allie looks at it and is like, I ain't got change for that, and he's like, didn't expect any.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what's gonna happen? These people are gonna fucking try to get him.
Yeah.
And like right there in that one scene, that dude fucking stands up with that knife and starts walking up behind him to fucking stab him.
Holy shit, man.
And he like sees him in the mirror.
Yeah. I need to.
And it's like, go sit back down. And the man like, oh, sit back down. And he just goes and sits back down. And then
he has
shit
to,
with
or he die.
Nort, the weed chewer.
Yeah.
In that shit.
He's like, I was brought back. I didn't care my weed problems. No, that was a man who had problems. I really felt like, God, the Man in Black is a fuck.
Fucking
Man, it'd be cool if we get to see if that's our introduction to Matthew McConaughey's Man in Black, is bringing back that guy.
I wish.
That'd be fucking cool.
Yeah, that really would be. That's probably one of my favorite scenes with the Man in Black.
God, that'd be awesome. That whole first book.
Yeah.
It's just fucking great.
It is.
It's so good. It sets up.
I can't wait to not see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
I can't wait to see one cowboy as he would have fought in the Avengers movie against Matthew McConaughey in all black.
Yeah. Also, people are saying that weird thing he was fighting in the forest could be Shardock, which would be what?
Shardock was the bear, right?
Yeah, the
I was gonna
giant,
say,
like 3-story bear.
You remember he was in the
partly
Bestiary 3 or
mechanical,
whatever.
right?
Yeah.
He was in that third monster manual for D&D. Remember that one time I found that? I found that giant armored bear, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I like flipped out because I was like, this is Monster Manual 3. My God, that's a giant armored bear. That's fucking Shardock. What the fuck?
Damn.
Fuck me, dude.
And isn't it like
Medieval Shardock.
who did Shardock initially attack?
It's Eddie, I thought. Eddie
Yeah,
was
it's
climbing
not-
that
it's
tree
not
and being
Roland.
like, get out of this
Yeah.
tree!
Yeah.
Get
And
out of
he's
here,
like
dude.
half mechanical and old and
He's got a
diseased
radar
and shit.
on his
Yeah.
head, I thought.
Yeah,
I remember the
radar dish.
artwork. Yeah.
I almost want to say that Roland somehow knew an old rhyme about him somehow.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah. What was he like? Did they ever explain what?
Because
he
I want to
was?
say he was one of the Totem Guardians.
He was.
Okay.
So that's why you have see the turtle of enormous girth, because that was a Totem Guardian. The bear was one.
Yeah.
Lion is another. The fish is another.
How many are there?
There's at least, I think, 12, because there's 6 beams and there's one on each beam.
That's right.
On each
I was
On
going to
either end
say,
of each
whatever
beam.
happened to Shardock to make him like that? Did they ever explain in the
I don't know,
item
but I remember
descriptions?
like them talking about like as it was attacking Eddie, it would like sneeze and like fucking like larvae and maggots would fly out when
Yeah,
it sneezed, so he was like
yeah.
rotting from the inside and
Holy
like
crap.
going fucking crazy because they were like in his head eating away at his mind.
Yeah.
So like that.
And of course, Shardock is from another book.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the,
Called Shardock.
Yeah. I started reading that. I got about 50 pages in, and it was pretty fucking cool. But, no, I think almost, like, there's one of them in Wind Through the Keyhole where they're like, yeah, the lion is pretty much Aslan. Like, they don't say it's Aslan, but they're like, it's at the end of in a snowy place with a lamp pole or something like that. So
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That adds to the whole thing of like it's all just literary stuff
Yeah.
pooling together in this world.
Exactly.
That's
So wait,
awesome.
what the book Shardock? Who wrote that? What is that about?
It's weird because it's like this super god bear is living in this area and has come to basically just live or something like that, and I can't remember the details, but there's this one group of people who are living in this area, and they go, I think they're like, we spotted the bear, it's coming around here, and so they go to this island where these female druid priests who were somehow like able to like work with the bear, or communicate with the bear, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember everything. But one of the things that I did notice was they were like, yeah, look, our magic lets us just not be hurt by weapons. And they get like stabbed themselves with a dagger, and it's just like, we're fine, see? And I'm like, wait, isn't there something from that in D&D too? So I know that it had an influence on that too. And just, yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's a cool story from what I got to read.
Man, that's cool. Dude, that is awesome. Then again, that now that I know that Midworld for sure is like all these literary places just kind of together, the Harry Potter sneeches make
more sense.
More sense, but not quite.
Still, and like the Doctor Doom looking robots
with the wolf masks and the lightsabers. So dope.
I'm kind of glad I never finished this series. I'm kind of glad I stopped like fucking a third of the way into Wizard and Glass.
It sort of jumps the shark, but it's
that
still
fight.
Like,
the villains for that fight jump the shark. The wolves of the Kala are like, okay, you're on a spoopy other plane. What is this shit? But they fight them, and it's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
because it's literally it goes from like, oh my god,
it's like 300 pages of build up.
300 pages of build up just for like this final battle where it's like the town's ready to defend themselves. They're like throwing blades. They're like shooting the Rizzes. Yeah. They're like firing guns. They get these blade frisbees called Rizzes.
Yeah, that's right. I do remember those because like Jake carries those.
And Susanna uses them a lot.
I aim with my eye. Yeah! Pinch that son of a bitch right through a person's head.
So what? Don't they meet Stephen King in like 6?
Yeah.
Song of Susanna?
Yeah.
That sounds so weird to say and spoil for the book. Just like, yeah, and then they meet the writer of the book that they're in.
It might be the 7th book.
Okay.
It might be.
What happens in Song of Susanna?
It's, I want to say mainly from Susanna's standpoint. She goes to the Dixie Pig. I want to say that's the one where she's pregnant heavily. And they're trying to, like, deal with that. Oh, man. But then again, I think it's
those last books blur together because you read them like back to back, and then you're like, "That was amazing," and then you're like, "I shouldn't have read it so quickly."
She's in New York doing different things. Yeah, like that 6th book really was just kind of the prologue to the Dark Tower, the last one.
Oh, gotcha.
So it is kind of hard to even distinguish them.
The thing I'm wondering is like, they announced a long while back that Aaron Paul is in the movie.
Wait, was?
I thought they announced a while back that he's in the movie.
No, as far as I know, he was like, "Yeah, I've heard Eddie is like perfectly me, so I'm gonna try really hard to get in that movie."
Oh, gotcha.
And he even tweeted to Stephen King, and Stephen King has said that that would be a good choice, but I don't think they're gonna use him for this first movie, which would still make sense.
Yeah, no, it would still make sense because it'd be the first movie. It'd just be like Roland and Jake against the Man in Black kind of thing and traveling, but. I really, really don't think we're gonna get like the characters as they are.
No, they'll probably be changed.
They're probably heavily changed, especially like fucking Odetta.
Yeah,
that is gonna be like pretty much like a completely different person.
Yep. They kind of have to.
A racist black person? That's not real.
That's the most fantastical thing in the whole movie.
The fact that that's what like half of her character is. The fact that she's in a wheelchair.
Yep.
They're gonna change it.
Yeah, they're gonna change it because people are gonna just have the giant shit.
The shittiest of shit fits.
The shittiest of shit fits. When they're like, you're telling me this character is like a African American woman who is crippled and racist. Horribly racist. But to be fair, she's split personality, so it's like
and one personality is actually a really, really good person.
And the other half is horrendously racist. And they will fuse into one person who will be whole and awesome.
Because it feels like that they're either not going to do it right or we're never going to see another movie past this. I'm kind of sad because I always wondered how a movie would do the shit on the beach. With Roland going through a door and then being in someone's head.
Yeah. No, that would be really fucking cool.
And was it going to be like seeing them and then like they actually change their eye color like they did in the book?
Did they really?
Yeah, whenever Roland was... Because it said that shit to Eddie on the plane. When Roland first stepped in, the stewardess thought that his eyes were blue.
Damn, man, you remember more details than I do.
I just remember a little... Because I was like, that's fucking cool. Because whenever Roland stepped forward and took control... people would see Eddie as having blue eyes instead of his like hazel or brown eyes when Roland fucking took a step away.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had to like fucking concentrate when he was taking over them to like pull shit into his world.
Yeah.
Because that's how he got the fucking like iced Pepsi. And he started, because he was like, it's so sweet, and he started choking on the ice.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how he got the fucking medicine for his infected finger stumps.
Yeah. Which,
Man.
that's another thing they're probably going to change, too.
That's probably, yeah. Why would we cut the fingers off of, like, the main character's hand?
Yeah.
Those are the ones he fires his gun with.
Exactly. That's the...
That's what this character is, right? He's a cowboy and he fires guns. That's it, right?
No.
You're right. Yes, it is, movie. You got it totally right. Thank you for doing this.
God, no, don't. God, no. I can see them doing that shit.
Yeah, this is why I've always hated the idea of a movie adaptation in the first place. Because it was going to get me excited and then fucking ruin, like,
and
dash
then
all my hopes.
And then pussy out.
Yeah, pussy out.
All
real
the main
hard.
things, like, this is the part where Matthew McConaughey's character gets fucking eviscerated by a spider. And then it doesn't happen. And you're like, fuck you, movie. He's supposed to have his fucking face ripped off or whatever the fuck.
This is the part where Roland leaves Jake behind.
This is
so
the part where the
Jake
grown-ass
dies.
man leaves behind a kid to die.
Do you think that's going to happen?
No.
Or at least it's not going to happen the same way. Now, I hope that they do have the guts to actually do something close to that. Because I don't feel like they're even going to go to the same place and go to the thing and the Golgotha. No,
Yeah.
probably
It's
not
so
gonna
weird
see
because
it.
Stephen King has written all of their fucking Game of Thrones super shocker, holy shit that just happened moments, and they will just gladly turn the car in the other direction to like make the movie like attract a bunch of different
The
people.
sad part is that they'll try and make their own version and be like, it's just as good, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, and it's like, no, you need to smoke more coke or whatever the fuck. Get back in that room and write a different movie. You motherfuckers. You wimped out on us.
Yep.
You failed. You had the one job. A man wrote a book. All you had to do was put that on screen, and you fucking couldn't do that.
You know what's going to be hilarious?
what's that?
And I know folks at home, we're kind of doing this now, but you can fuck off because we've actually, these guys have read the books. I've read the majority of the series. You've listened to us talk. We know what we're fucking talking about when it comes to these books. Aaron's the one that actually introduced both of us at the table, me and Justin, to these fucking books in the first place.
Years and years and years ago.
Years ago.
And Ethan.
Yeah.
And I want to say even John Miller and Seth.
Yep.
Yeah, because John Miller read them. I don't know how many Seth's read. I know Ethan, I think, got partway into the third one.
Something like
I
that.
don't know about that. But
Oh,
I
no,
thought
no. No, he got kind of into the second one. That was it.
man, yeah, I didn't even think he
He
finished the first.
he at least finished the first.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
or at least said he finished the first. But I can't wait until February when this movie comes
all
out.
these Fairweather fans.
And and everybody starts like fucking either like praising this movie because it took this basic story and put a modern day spin on it, so like people can understand this complex and stupid backwards writing that Stephen King is known for. Or people can just come out and be like, this is a bad movie because it didn't adapt it exactly right, like this and this that I just looked up on Wikipedia to support my argument.
No, the thing that I'm going to be pissed with has already started to happen. There was a an IO9 article that talked about this leaked trailer, and it's like they couldn't even have the decency to fucking get the details right. They started talking about James halfway through the story, and like the Gunslinger's Litany was the greatest part of this trailer, and I'm like, this is not even funny. This is not even funny. I can't hardly read this shit.
IO9, you suck. You suck. Check your fucking facts.
Yeah.
And Beth Elderkin, you step away from a fucking keyboard and you stop writing, you goddamn feminist bastard. But, hand in hand with all of this, guess what just fucking popped up on the PS4 store today?
What's that?
Red Dead Revolver.
I thought it already was.
It was on PS3 and then they took it down. It has not been on PS4 yet. And they were like,
Son of a bitch.
PS4 has now Red Dead Revolver just today. Full game for $15 up there.
Holy shit. I'm gonna have to get that or something.
Yeah, man.
So
Because I was just, I saw that as I was scrolling through Facebook, waiting for shit to move over to a hard drive, and I was like, nuh-uh. And I went and checked my PS4, and I was like, well, It's going to be the third time I own you then.
Third time you get to unlock everything.
There are some games, man, it's just worth it to buy multiple times.
You got to think about it for our semifinal round.
Because the first thing that came to mind when I saw it was just like, yes, I get to buy it all over again and unlock everything again. Because, that's a fun fucking game, dude.
I love it when you have a game that's so good that you don't care. Like, you're like, I get to do it all over again.
And if you don't care, we don't care.
I'm kind of excited for, in that same vein, Final Fantasy 12. Because they're going to redo that for PS4.
That's awesome. I figured they would after doing 10 and 10-2.
I put in at least 3 different playthroughs with 200 plus hours into that game.
Dude, that's
each time. And it was just like, holy fuck, this game has just got so much stuff and you just waste all your time. And it is, and the story's like half-assed because the creator was like having bad health problems when he was making it, so they kind of had to rush it.
Mm-hmm.
So but what's really great is that it actually has a huge backstory if you take the time to watch read some of the detail stuff.
Yeah,
make some inferences.
Because I know like that's another one that Corey likes a whole lot.
Yeah,
is 12.
It sounds like they haven't really had a super good one then since 12, or I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Well, the only other one they've had since 12 is 13 wasn't anywhere near as bad as everybody said. It was nowhere near as branching as the other games, but I liked the characters. The plot was your basic Final Fantasy kind of shit. Like, oh man, there's something in the world that like is turning against people. We gotta stop it.
Yeah.
But like, other than that, I'm not sure why they spun off a bunch of sequels. I'm not finished with regular 13 yet, but when I finish that, I plan on playing 13.2 and seeing how that holds up. And if I get through that, I'll try 13.3 and see what that does.
Yeah.
But then 14 was an MMO.
Yeah, and Derek's playing the hell out of that.
Yeah.
14 when there's some major revisions. And I was like, wow, I had no idea.
They were saying that
they like
almost rebooted it.
Yeah, it was so bad. They basically apocalypsed their own setting and then just the 14 A World Reborn is just like, yes, this is a new MMO. Ignore the other one happened except for the fact that like the other one died and it's part of our canon now.
Yeah.
But
what
the
fuck was wrong with it for them to do that shit?
It was super bad apparently. It was just like it was just bad, I guess. It was just kind of flatly bland or unappealing or something. They fucking nuked it and tried again. And they did a much better job, apparently, when they tried again. So I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Well, 15 looks good.
Yeah. 15 looks cool as hell.
Ride in the car.
Ride in a car that can turn into a jet.
Yeah. But no, 12 is exciting to me just because it has the new systems, the new job systems. Or at least it's gonna break apart the license board, which is the old way to level up, and then split them up into job classes. Which I'm like, yeah, that sounds fucking
So
cool.
it's actually going to have, like, classes.
Well,
job classes.
Yeah, no.
I like these job classes.
Job classes are the shit.
I like tactics.
Yeah.
Tactics
And it's the same fucking world as Tactics just a million years ago.
Yeah, actually, they have a lot of stuff going on in that world setting nowadays. Man, they need to, do another game in that setting.
They really do. If they did...
Or, they need to just do another Tactics.
Yeah, I was going to say, if they somehow made, like, a PS4 graphics and upgraded version of Tactics, or even a sequel to Tactics that used that same battle system and everything, that'd be the greatest game.
It'd be so good.
It'd be so damn good.
I won't even lie. I would play that. Because as much as I like to rag on it, next to turn-based RPGs, that's my favorite style of role-playing, is like the grid.
Yeah.
With like the exact... Because fucking Tactics Core Demo... That's a free thing you can play online at, like, the website for it. It's just, like, one plane, team of good guys versus a team of bad guys, and that's all it is. But I played that so many times over in high school, sitting in homeroom. I'd like, how many times can I beat this before I have to leave homeroom?
Yeah. No, another game series that uses that same style that I wish I had been able to play more was Front Mission. Front Mission, I had that on my laptop back in the day, the original one on Super Nintendo, and that shit was so good. But then also the friggin' Front Mission 4 on PS2 was super good. Had that same kind of like turn-based, but you customize your mechs, do all different kinds of stuff. It had a great story. Had two different main characters that eventually come together at the finale.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That's fucking cool. But like I was thinking about it, the Red Dead Revolver thing. That might mean we're one step closer to redemption on PS4.
I was going to mention that. They probably are going to... Like, that's done for a reason. I'm sure.
Because it was on PS3, Red Dead Revolver was, to buy for years, and then they took it off. And it was gone, and nobody could get it on PS3 anymore.
Yeah.
But then bringing it out on PS4 has got me thinking, like, man, I'm just gonna fucking get this. Because it might be like, okay, we've put this game out, we're gonna give it this allotted amount of time, and if, like, the demand is there, why not fucking remake Redemption and put it on PS4?
Why not, indeed?
Or maybe they're gonna announce Red Dead 3rd.
That'd be so good. But when do we have any more conventions this year for announcing shit?
I don't know, man. That's the thing.
If they come out with Redemption for fucking PS4, it'll have all the fucking extra stuff. It'll have all the zombie stuff. I have to play
Undead
that.
Nightmare.
I've never played Undead Nightmare.
Oh, that's so good.
I started playing it, and then, like a fool, I haven't finished it. But,
Well, you did that with Redemption, but you eventually did go back and finish Redemption.
Yeah.
And you saw how great that was.
Holy shit, yeah.
And it's like, I trust it. So, now that you've beat Redemption, I'm just like, Aaron will beat Undead Nightmare at some point now. I know that. I know they will.
Yeah.
But, guys, thank you so much for joining us for another Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes podcast. Once again, thank you for subscribing. Whether you've been here with us from the beginning or you've just subscribed this month because you like the SCP ones, don't worry. We've got more Play Prisons coming, more podcasts coming, and I think after this October special, since it's going to be the easiest thing for me to record and upload on the road, I'm going to start doing either 1 to 2 SCPs a week after October's completely done, so that will become its own regular thing again. And
You okay?
have you triumphantly killed it?
I don't think I did.
What was it?
It was a huge, like, centipede or bug or something.
Okay,
I
well,
was trying to wait for the end of the podcast to start moving.
No, fair enough.
all right, well, we're about to go exterminate some shit, so for Ordinary Men Who Fight Like Heroes, I'm Chris Fearing,
Drunks and Dragons?
Ballistic robot.
saying see you next time, and remember, first comes smiles, then lies, last is gunfire.